the Jbrc Race Cars. I'm Steve, and what I'd like to show you laid out in front of us here today is some of our particulars on wheelie bars. The wheelie bar being a very important tuning tool of the suspension of the car, and we offer here at Jbrc Race Cars a wide variety of anything from what we call our Sportsman wheelie bar made out of 4130, our Pro wheelie bar 4130, titanium, and now even into carbon fiber wheelie bars. The particular wheelie bar set out in front of you is a typical display that we use of a lower mainframe. This has our Pro caster box on it. This particular caster box has two holes for the upper bar, one of them being the hole that you would actually run the bar in for the run itself, and the other one being a hole that you could pull the pin, raise it to the secondary hole for loading and unloading the car to the trailer, thus getting the wheelie bars up as the car is being loaded and unloaded and not dragging the wheel or forcing the wheel into the to the pavement. The 4130 wheelie bars with this caster box, you can buy them in a welded form that we can do by us getting the length, and we can help you, or Jerry can make a recommendation based off the wheelbase and some information he'll get from you on your car. The length of the bar, the lower mainframe can be made up on the centers that you need it to be on, and the upper bar generally is fabricated on one end where it would hook to the rod end to the caster box, and then we leave the bar long with a tube adapter supplied to you with the rod end for where you would attach it to your rear axle housing. Not knowing the height and or the location of the tabs on the rear axle housing kind of prohibits us to build them complete for you. This is just a cutaway of a painted Pro caster box design wheelie bar. Our Sportsman bar uses a different caster box. This is what the caster box looks like when it comes to you in raw form. This is what it looks like fabricated and welded. This particular wheelie bar uses a different design gusset to the back of the caster. Instead of using a rod end, we utilize a clevis and a pin to slide over this pickup point. The rear axle housing gets a bracket like this that welds to, which makes it very popular for 12 bolt applications, 8 3/4, Dana's, different housings other than sheet metal and fabricated 9-inch Fords. And then the upper and lower bar are connected, instead of a rod end between a double shear, they're connected with a clevis sliding over the bracket. On this particular bar, the upper bars do have to run parallel to the lower mainframe, while you don't have rod ends to give you any pivot or angle location differences. You pretty well have to run this bar with the upper bar again parallel to the lower mainframe. So this is real popular in maybe like 50, 60, and 70-inch length bars. Our Pro wheelie bars go anywhere from 60, 66, 72, and 80-inch bars plus. Those particular bars, again, the tubing has changed over the years, where popularity was 1.125" 058 lower mainframes with 1-inch uppers. Now you're up to using 1.25" 065 wall, sometimes for both the uppers and lowers, as well as tubing sizes that we use that are even above and beyond those diameters and wall thicknesses. Unwelded kit, again, all your rod end and hardware would come with it. The threaded tube adapters, precision machined, I mean, nice pieces. The left hand having the hex on it, the right hand not. Then we move into the variety of different wheelie bar wheels that we have. All of our kits start out with our base wheel, which is still one of a very good wheel and a very popular selling wheel for us. It's a steel center, sealed bearing, very thin tire on it. Sometimes the heavier cars and stuff and a wheelie bar wheel that have been around for a long time just looks a little dated to me and a little heavy on the heavy side is this cast aluminum center. Again, a sealed bearing, a little thicker rubber on it. The real popular orange wheel that you've seen, I'm sure, on many back of race cars, called the Wheelies wheels. We're a dealer or distributor for them. Sealed bearing, kind of a flat wheel. Some people like that. Some people prefer the arch or the curve in the wheel. Depends on your tunability and how your probably crew member likes to set the wheelie bars. These wheels here, this is what I call the star design, kind of taken after the Weld Alumistar wheel. Was a neat feature when it kind of came out. Sealed bearing. Bearing spacers come with it, making it the correct width to fit the caster box. This one was referred to as the Magnum. Holes instead of more of a triangulated slot. This one was referred to as the Ultra, trying to take it down to a very narrow wheel, lightening the wheel even more with more cutouts machined in it. And then by far one of our most popular wheels is the GMM1. This wheel was originally designed by Don Ness. True all billet aluminum, sealed bearing. This one uses what we call like a spacer with a hubcap design. The spacer fits into the bearing. Two different widths available to make it fit an 1.5 inch wide caster box or an 1 3/4 inch wide caster box. On all of our wheelie bars, we always use the proper NAS grade bolts as well as the grip bolts so that it's totally shouldered where it goes through the caster box brackets. This one happens to be fitted with instead of just a traditional nylock nut on it, this one happens to be fitted with a pointed egg carn nut that we use quite frequently, and that helps and aids the crew member a lot of times when he's doing the final wheelie bar adjustment on the starting line to give him a nice center point for measuring from the track surface to the center line of the bolt hole on the caster box. As far as adjustment of the wheelie bars, like I talked about, a crew member would do on the starting line, we have these wheelie bar adjustment wrenches. Gives you a flat pad to set on the track surface itself and a ruler for measuring the height. They're available in 3/4, 15, 16, and 1 inch depending on the jam nut size that you're dealing with. The longer wrenches here were based off the 10.5 tire cars, because those cars ran usually a taller ride height. The wheelie bars are generally higher as well too. Same concept, just a taller wrench design. For marking the wheels that you see many of the teams do, so they can get a pattern or a patch down to see what the wheelie bar, how it actually tagged the track surface and how far it was drug out. We have anything from a spray-on white chalk to the marker styles that are available in orange, white, and yellow. When you get into some of the Pro Mod wheelie bars and the longer bars, while the upper bars are suspended longer from the caster box to the point on the rear axle housing, we have and supply with those particular bars a upper wheelie bar support kit, we refer to it as. This comes with all the hardware you need, and there's pictures in our catalog and on our website as well that show this installed. And what this does is give a support from the lower main frame to the upper bars and a crossbar to join them. Something that I don't have set out here as well too that you can see on our website is, as the wheelie bars become longer, there's also the possibility and the fear of the chutes being deployed and possibly getting tangled up in the wheelie bars. We offer custom wheelie bar nets that are made. You can call our parts department. We can help you with the dimensions that we need from you, and those nets can be made up to fit your bar specific to your bar needs. And then finally, as the technology has continued, and you've probably seen more and more of, especially on the Pro Stock and Pro Mod cars, again, dealing from 4130 wheelie bars to titanium wheelie bars, to titanium wheelie bars using moly uppers. Then you come into weight obviously being a factor, and this is a cutaway of the MVM carbon wheelie bar. When these wheelie bars first come out, it was kind of specific to the needs of the race car itself, and a little more difficult to construct and build, because as this would be sent to you, a do-it-yourselfer or a fabricator, obviously you're not welding on the carbon fiber to complete these. But MVM has worked really hard over the past year and created an order form which you can download off our website or call us and we can send it to you. And it's a real nice dimensional form that can all be filled out, and they pretty well can build right from that a wheelie bar that will exact fit your car's needs. As far as, again, we can make recommendations on the length, but as far as the width needed and the completion of the upper bars fitting not only the caster box but the rear axle housing tabs that are on your rear end. Well, there you have it. That's most of the wheelie bar components, parts, and pieces. Again, from welded to unwelded, which we do sell a lot of kit farms for the do-it-yourselfers. We feel like we have all the components you need to build the same professional wheelie bars that you see on Jbrc built cars. And as always, if you have any questions, give us a call. We're always here to help.